wasn't sure I'd be here. I had a little trouble with the old truck this morning. But she didn't let me down. She was just a little recalcitrant about starting, but she's fine now. So we're going to start too. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice. Sunday morning, and here we are, come together from near and far. We're unity, that's the way it should be. I've got family waiting for me every Sunday. I'm glad to see we're unity, and that's the way it should be. My, we're so happy it's Sunday. This is our very own Unity Day. Here where we belong with all of our family. We're unity, and that's the way it should be. The sun's shining, and I am too. I feel so happy. How about you? We're unity, that's the way it should be. We're so grateful that love abounds. Our brothers and sisters all around. We're unity, that's the way it should be. Oh yeah. My, we're so happy it's Sunday. This is our very own Unity Day. Here where we belong with all of our family. We're unity, and that's the way it should be. We're unity, and that's the way it should be.
Good morning. It's so nice to be back, but it was great to be away as well. Larry and I were in Cuenca, Ecuador, which is up in the Andes Mountains. My whole friend, that's W-H-O-L-E, whole friend, we've been friends for 50 years, has been living there for 10 years. And the Ecuadorian people are happy because they have to be. Do you know that in their constitution it says you will live a happy life? I think it's something that's worth adopting. And they truly are happy people. They don't have a lot, but they're happy people, and it's a fun place to be, of course, when you're with your best friend. But it's very nice to be back. As I start, brought my phone up here with me to remind myself and everyone else that as we go through the service, we appreciate that your phone doesn't make noise for us. And welcome to Unity of London. We have a lovely, almost full house here in London, Ontario at 501 Nelson Street. If you're ever driving around nearby, please stop by on a Sunday. Hello to everyone on Zoom, and hello to anyone watching this later on our YouTube channel. So, what do we got? Oh, well, as long as it works. Next slide, please. There we go. So, welcome to Unity. Welcome home. Jim Song sings that very nicely, that we love coming here on Sunday to see our family, see the other unitics, the people that believe that we are, each and every one of us, a divine expression of God. And we come because of the love and the joy and the kindness that we all share. We also appreciate each other's curiosity, and through curiosity, we do experience growth. And expressing ourselves the way we're meant to be, just who we are, not anybody else, but who we are is embraced. We also get connected, heart to heart, and it's through connections that we have transformation. And evolving peace is through evolving ourselves. So unity is a positive path to spiritual living. And we have our 5 basic principles. And I noticed while I was away, somebody numbered them from 1 to 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they all are really important. So having them all as number 1 could be good, but it might be confusing for new people. So let's affirm these together. Number 1, God is all good and active in everything, everywhere. 2, I am naturally good because God's divinity is within me and everyone. 3, I create my experiences by what I choose to think and what I feel and believe. Number 4, through affirmative prayer and meditation, I connect with God and bring out the good in my life. And number 5, I do my best by living the truth I know. I make a difference. And we do. And how do we experience all of this, or how do we make this happen? Well, be the change that you want to see. We can go on and on and on and on about what everybody else should do, but the only person that we're responsible for and should take, it would be wise to take responsibility for yourself, and that is just yourself. But be yourself, and if you'd like to see things change, make sure that you're expressing that change you would like to see. We also coexist together with all walks of life. It doesn't matter where you came from, what you've done in the past, what you're growing up, what you were taught about spirituality or religion, but we believe that we can coexist through all walks of life. And it is our differences that help us to understand more and help us to coexist better, I believe. And now we're going to have some more wonderful music by Jim Chapman.
Well, you might want to wait till you hear it before you sing.
Put that out there. I affirm it will be good.
Put that out there. Well, as many of you know, obviously tomorrow's a Remembrance Day, and for me it's a very big day. My father was a veteran and came home with PTSD and had a lot of trouble, but never complained, never said a word about it. He was glad to go and do his part, as were so many other people, and many of whom came home, many of whom did not. And this particular song, where are my glasses? Where are your glasses? Can't see anything anymore. This particular song was not written about the war, although it's been associated with many war stories from Vietnam and from Afghanistan and from Iraq and other places around the world where Americans, in particular, it's an American song, but where they've been involved. It goes back to the old Boys Town movies in the 1930s with Father Flanagan. And there's a scene in there at one point where one of the boys has picked up another fellow who's, something happened to him, and he's a pretty good-sized guy, and he's just a little guy, and Father Flanagan comes in and says, "Oh, be careful, what are you doing?" He says, "Oh, don't worry, Father, he ain't heavy, he's my brother." And again, that story has been adapted over the years to Vietnam and other things, and I still think it's it's a beautiful song. And I'd just like to sing it today and send this out to all of the people who've served, men and women who've served over the years. The load was not too heavy for them because they were carrying it for their brothers and sisters. It's a long, long road, which there is no return, while we're on the way to there, why not share? The Lord doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm laden at all, I'm laden with sadness, that everyone's heart isn't filled with gladness and love for one another. Road is long that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong, strong enough to carry him. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Thank you, Jim. And so as many people know, you would only not know if you're new to Unity, that Unity was founded on affirmative prayer. And so at the front of our room here, we have our prayer box. There's little pieces of paper nearby with a pen. And that prayer box is so you can put someone's name on that piece of paper or a number of names on a piece of paper into the prayer box. And those people will be prayed for 30 days here and sent down to Unity Worldwide or Silent Unity, where those people will receive additional prayer. And of course, at any time you can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY. And there is a wonderful divine being waiting at the end of the phone to pray with you or with someone that you might share that number with. I know we've been talking about inviting people to come to Unity and sharing booklets, and we have our little cards that invite people, and the prayer for protections on the back of that. But also let people know that at any time they can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY. Because these days there's certainly lots of happy people, and the people of Ecuador are happy, but they still have challenges. And there's 52 Catholic churches, and every week one church has the opportunity to celebrate. So they're celebrating every week. And at around 7 in the morning, the church that it's their week, they let off, it's not a cannon, but it sounds like a cannon. You'll hear this boom, boom, and they're waking up the saints. So they wake up the saints every morning. So that's kind of cool, but anyways. We don't wake up saints, we just wake up as saints. But certainly affirmative prayer is a wonderful tool to make a difference in your life and in your world. And if you'd like individual one-on-one prayer, today Dawn was on, but she's selling necklaces and T-shirts. So I said, well, I'll be prayer chaplain for you. So on your way to the prayer room, which, as you know, yellow or orange steps, pick up a necklace, buy a T-shirt or two, and then come for prayer, and I'll pray with you. And online, we have wonderful Wilda for anyone online that would like individual one-on-one prayer. And now we'll take time for prayer. So I invite you to become comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths, breathing in all the love that's in this room. And as you exhale, let go of all that no longer serves you. Let go of the busyness of the morning, any fears or challenges that have been weighing on your mind or on your heart. And just be here together as our hearts beat and we go into prayer. This month we hold in prayer Unity Church of Agape in Scarborough and Silently Unity. We hold all of our members from Unity of London in our prayers, and our friends and families that are all connected with us. And we take a moment and whisper the names of anyone else that we would like to hold into the prayer circle today. I invite you to do that now. And as we move forward, as Jim talked about Remembrance Day coming up tomorrow, we feel the peace in our heart. We know that there is a movement happening, a movement that has been happening for many years, and it's gaining strength. And that's a movement to people becoming heart-based, living from their heart, not their head. Taking action with love, speaking with love. And we use our imagination and we see the countries that are at war. We see them putting down their arms and linking arms, hugging one another. We see people recognizing that we are here for each other, not to fight, but to thrive, to help one another through the challenges. For today, you need help. Tomorrow, it's someone else that needs your help. We truly believe that there is peace in the world, and it does begin with us. And so as we also move towards Pauline and her message about letting go, and this month our power of elimination or release, we let go of our anger. We let go of our thoughts of other people maybe being better than us or us being better than them. We let go of all of the negative thoughts that don't help us so that we make room for all the love and joy and peace to abound. And we know that as we think and feel and act, so it will be, and we will see peace on earth. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now our wonderful Nancy Youngson's going to come up and read our daily word.
I'm just going to do something a little different. I'm going to start with the scripture verse that the daily word was based on. And it's from 1 Peter chapter 2:16. It was written by one of the followers of our way shower Jesus, and it was within the first 100 years of after he had been killed. It was at a time when the Roman Empire was ramping all over, and a good majority of the congregation were slaves. It's called freedom. Freedom is my spiritual birthright. I live my freedom when I speak my mind, pursue my dreams, and live with dignity and self-respect. It means I am self-directed, and I use my spiritual gifts of understanding, faith, love, and strength to guide my direct decisions and actions. And as I do, I feel free. I do what I can to support freedom for myself and others. I honor and give thanks for all those whose courage and dedication and service have helped build and sustain a world where all peoples can know true freedom. In prayer, I envision a harmonious human community that assures everyone's basic needs are met and respects differing viewpoints and celebrates the unique expression of God in each person. The verse, as servants of God, live as free people, and yet do not use your freedom as a pretext for evil. Okay, this morning, it's very timely. This morning, it's our lovely licensed Unity teacher and one of our spiritual leaders here in London. It is Pauline Duncan-Thrasher. She has been part of Unity for 13 years and given so many ways, 14 years now, so many things. And I welcome her with her talk, Challenges and Rewards of Letting Go, Part 2.
Thanks so much, Nancy. I was sharing with Sylvia before our service began, the benefits of teaching are that it provides for us new content, new perspective. And this past week, the lesson, the session 4, based on Foundations of Unity, was all about the teachings of Jesus. It was called the metaphysical teachings of Jesus, which to me is just bringing it to our level. Interpreting what Jesus said so it will have meaning in our lives. And Eric Butterworth wrote a chapter in Discover the Power in You called From Miserable Sinners to Masters. I thought, wow, what a chapter title. From miserable sinners to masters. If you look back in your own upbringing, perhaps like me, you received so many messages about what a miserable sinner you were. Born in original sin, little innocent baby, but you were tainted with sin. And for your whole life, you better be aware of the sins, the guilt, the shame, and then giving back. I love the thought of us being masters. And that does not mean dictators. It doesn't mean power mongers. That's not at all what he meant. And I will be sharing, before I start, a little bit from the New Testament, because it's pertinent. Another phrase there at Butterworth used, and I love this phrase, was that Jesus' teaching was not about conforming, but about transforming. How does that ring in your mind? Not about conforming, but about transforming from inside out. Transforming ourselves so that we can share the divinity by shining. And a few quotations from different aspects of the New Testament. And if you have a Bible at home, you might want to look them up later on and just think about them a bit. Jesus called the crowd to him and said, "Listen to me, everyone, and understand this. Nothing outside a person can defile them by going into them. Rather, it is what comes out of a person that defiles them." What is within us, our thoughts that we have, the guilt, the anger, the fear, the shame, that's what mucks up our lives. And that's coming from inside. He talked about losing items, the lost sheep, the lost coin. Do you ever feel lost? Have you ever felt as though you just lost your way? Or maybe you've lost an item that you thought was pretty special. My sock. I found these socks at a wellness store. And you might say, Pauline, you're talking about Jesus, and now you're talking about socks. Well, for me, this was important because they're soft and comfy. They're the color I love. They're purple stripes. And all of a sudden, I only had one. I thought, well, the washing machine did it again. It just ate up a sock. But I found it. I found it last week stuffed in the shirt that had come out of the wash, and I hadn't straightened out the sleeves. Why do I share that? Because I want you to think about any talent in your life that you have left behind. Any gift that you might have that you haven't nourished and taken care of, or maybe retrieved. Just think about it. Sometimes we think we've lost a gift that we had as a child. Maybe we think we've lost our innocence as children. And maybe some of it was lost. Can you retrieve it? Yes, you can. Jesus also said, and this was in John 14, the way to the Father. I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing. And they will do even greater things than these. They will do even greater things than these. Maybe in your, Wendy likes to call it church of origin, Jesus was way up there in a pedestal and you thought, I could never, ever even get close to Jesus. But Jesus showed love in normal, everyday ways. He paid attention to people that nobody else cared about. You can do the same. I know a lot of you do exactly that. You pay attention. You listen. You observe. You're attentive to the needs of other people. So on to the PowerPoint. Message is about let go to grow. Did work before. There we go. And I chose pale green, and I'm sorry, I know someone here has a bit of a hard time seeing green, but I wanted it to be symbolic for the growth that is within all of us. Talked about weeds last time, and many of us, including me, might dislike weeding. We just don't like getting into the garden and pulling out all the weeds. We want to see all the lovely flowers, but forget about the weeding. That's hard work. In our lives, sometimes it's saying, are there any weeds that I need to sort of gently pull out? Just asking. I know there are in my life. We don't all have hot houses in which to plant ourselves. It's easier to grow something in a hothouse. It's easier for us to flourish, maybe right here at Unity, where everybody is smiling. Well, most of us are smiling and happy and giving and kind to each other. But take us out of this atmosphere, maybe into a different environment where people might not be as kind. That's where we need to really tap into our divine presence. And treat yourself and your power as a little plant. Nourish yourself. Protect yourself when you need to be protected from outside forces. Doesn't mean being in a hothouse. Just means take care of your inner spirit. Let love flow. And if the flowing aspect of you, flowing from you out into the world, gets cluttered up with junk, with anger, or discouragement, or despair, if it gets cluttered up, it's hard for the love to flow out. Have you ever noticed that? That at times when maybe you were in pain, and that's all you could think about. You couldn't think about letting the love flow. But a dear friend, who I know was in a lot of pain, took time to think of me last week, and it really meant a difference. So even in our pain, or our grief, or our loneliness, just try to clean out the tubes a little. Be aware. Say a prayer. Think of one of Jim's songs. He's not heavy, he's my brother. And his pain may be harder, heavier, darker than my pain. So I will make a big effort and lift him up. And then give yourself a fresh glass of water or a treat. I made a mistake a few weeks ago and said go to the distillery. I just meant get distilled water. But you can get anything that makes you feel good and still yourself. I chose this because I liked it. A dad with his hands cupped, and I didn't make it big enough. And he's just holding, and his little boy has his little hands and the bigger hands, and water's flowing through. Maybe that's you. Might not be water, might be love. You might be standing alongside someone, and they see your love flowing, and they feel inspired. I know there are people in this room who are so loving, so giving. All I have to do is think of them, and it makes me feel more loving. And they're not my parents. My parents are long gone. And my father, too, came back from the war, badly damaged, broken eardrum, raging alcoholic, wanting to be a soldier forever, but he couldn't. We remember today all those who gave their lives. And nobody's saying to you, give up your life. But they are maybe urging you, encouraging you to be more love. More of love. What does that sentence mean to you? I invite you, just for now, to stand up. Put your arms up high. Turn around so you can see other people in the room. So the cameras can see you. And proclaim, I am a radiating center of peace and love. And then wave your arms in the air a little bit. And then do it again just for fun. I am a radiating center of peace and love. Give yourselves a big round of applause. So you could walk into the grocery store this week. Somebody last week talked about going into the grocery store and singing. I don't know if it was Kate or dancing. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Kate. It's out there now. And that's being a radiating center of peace and love. I'll bet when Chuck goes to the center which shall not be named, that he is a radiating center of peace and love. That the peace and love is felt. And the people might not tell you, but they will feel it. And how do you get there? You let go of all the junk. We all carry within us our child self. And maybe as a child you felt like running away. Maybe you had your favorite teddy that you hauled along. And then maybe you emerged into a calmer child. Or maybe you felt caged. Maybe you still do. Trapped. Trapped by negativity. And yet, I know a lot of you love going out into nature. Maybe love sitting on the edge of a dock, just dangling your feet over the edge. There, Sylvia and Larry went to Ecuador. I don't know if they sat in the dock or not, but if you can't go far, find a place. Find a place that lets you feel free. And it takes thought to claim the divinity within us. Because that's a monumental decision. Claiming the divinity within us means letting go of anything that is dragging us down. And we might sort of like what's dragging us down. We might be used to it. Might be a habit, maybe an addiction, maybe a certain company. And we say, well, I need it. I don't want to give that up. And you get to choose. Claiming the divinity within us has to mean making space. Has to. I looked at so many pictures. This is why I don't always use PowerPoint, because they totally distract me. And I was looking for, I put on the source that I use, happy woman. And they had all these young, sprightly looking young women, pretty and smiling and with all their makeup and nice clothes. And they had young guys going, oh. I even have a slide of one like that. But I chose this woman. This woman because she's older. The place where she's living doesn't look very upscale. She just has one arm, if you notice. The one arm, a stump on one arm, and the other arm held to her chin. But she has a smile, not a huge smile, but a smile that's noticeable enough that I thought, what powers represent this woman? And the first power that came to my mind was discernment. She has had the wisdom. She has tapped into the wisdom to make the most of who she is, where she is. When I was a teacher, there was a theme, and it drove some people crazy. They didn't like it. They said, oh, that's so phony. I liked it. The theme was bloom where you're planted, coming back to the analogy of plants. This woman didn't get to choose her surrounding. Maybe she was born there. But she has somehow found a way to make the most of it. Order in her life with one arm. She has found a way to create order, to create priorities, maybe to know how to use that stump. We see pictures of war-aunt children all the time on TV, engaging in sports, making the most, and I could have put those children on. But I chose to use someone older because all of us in this room were not children. And there might be something in your life right now, and you think, that's such an impediment. Nobody else has to deal with it, just me. Well, get over it. Get some discernment. Remember, you stood up a few minutes ago, and what did you say? I claim. You already forgot what I said. What was it? I'm a radiating center of peace and love. Does it take strength to be peaceful and loving? You better believe it does. And strength. I chose strength for this woman. The onlooker might say, oh, she's just an old woman with a broken arm living in a broken down place. What strength does she have? Oh, she has strength, inside strength, just flowing forth. Because I'll bet at some point, when she first lost her arm, she maybe felt angry, bitter, discouraged, but used her strength to build herself up. Wherever you are right now, maybe you are needing to use wisdom, order, and strength. All part of the growing process. And prayer, just because I like the picture. You don't have to go to a dark church, kneel down on a hard wooden board, or now they're padded sometimes, and fold your hands in prayer. You can pray anywhere. Make it affirmative. And also make it releasing. I release my anger. I absorb my peace. There's another section in Discover the Power in You called BE, attitudes. That would be a whole other message. But it was a beautiful message, and I'll just share one little tiny part of it. When you were in school, did anybody tell you, blessed are the poor in spirit? So don't even think about earning a lot of money. Don't think about lavish trips. Don't think about a big house, because blessed are the poor in spirit. Well, Eric Butterworth has a whole new perspective on that, as you might guess. The root word that is translated spirit is more accurately and meaningfully translated pride. Poor in pride. Blessed are the poor in pride. Doesn't that change it? And what does he mean by that? Blessed are they who can let go of the attempt to understand intellectually. And you're saying, how does this all? Who accept the deep things of spirit as a little child. Blessed are they who are teachable, open-minded, receptive to the truth, willing to renounce preconceived opinions and prejudices and entertain a new concept of life. Are you open? Inward revelation. Inward. And this man just looks so loving. He looks so happy. He too doesn't have a whole bunch. I'm not saying that you can't be wealthy and happy. You absolutely can. Well, I don't know that from experience, but I know it from observing other people. Rich in money, that is. You can be rich in money and have beautiful clothes and be young and good-looking and be happy. Or you can be rich in money, have beautiful clothes, be young and good-looking, and be miserable. It comes from inside. And this man just has love light shining. And there's the picture, because this person is out in nature, just enjoying. Now, before you can shine as you need to be able to see the face of God when you look in the mirror. Not just going around looking at everybody else. When you look in the mirror, can you see the face of God? You might be an intellectual. You might love reading like the young one on the left. You might like leaping into the air, which I'm not even going to try and do, like the young woman on the right. So, to see the face of God, to remember that you can put on a cape anytime. And the cape might have little sparkles on it that remind you of the light within you. Because there is a light in each of you. And it might be big and sparkly, or it might be small. And this is for Lorraine. Because I like it. She said, Pauline, you look like Paddington. And I said, well, Dan said, you want to wear a hat, Pauline? It's pouring rain. And you can see my boots have smiley faces and they're yellow rubber boots. And those are symbolic. You might feel sometimes as though you're walking through the muck and mud. And you might say, ugh, how do I get out of it? Put a smiling face on it and keep on walking. And then remind yourself that you are on a spiritual journey, a journey of discovering the power, the divinity, the love within you, and you're letting go of all the junk, all the mud. You just get through it somehow, and then you shine. Let go and grow. Let go and let love flow. Let us now go into meditation. We breathe in love, light, wisdom, order, and strength. We absorb in this moment our knowledge that we are divine presence in this world. Feel it flow, feel the love flow, feel the peace flow through your body, all the way through and out to the ends of your fingertips. Feel the love in the room, in your life, in your heart. Just take a few moments to quietly be still, to peacefully be still, to lovingly be still. As Dawn loves to say in our daily prayer, I'll let you know when our time is fulfilled. May we face the coming week with love in our hearts, letting go what we need so that we can grow. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
Thank you, Pauline. a wonderful message about letting go and growing. Certainly some practicality, and really liked your idea of the shirt. And we all talk about seeing the face of God in everyone, but we rarely say, what about yourself? What do you see when you look in the mirror? We are all a representation of the divine spirit. And now I'll have some more great music by Jim.
Pauline, that did it again. It did it again. You do it every time. I have a song, though. Pauline sent me what she was going to talk about today, and I thought that was just one of my all-time favorite songs, and I think it fits right in with what she said at the end there. Let your light shine. I'll find the right key here now. I think that'll do. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine around the world. We're gonna let it shine. Shine around the world, and we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine around the world, and we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I know that isn't the melody that you're used to. It's a different version I found this past week when I was looking this up, so I hope we get through it all right. We will sing in peace and sing in harmony. We will sing in peace and sing in harmony. We will sing in peace and sing in harmony. We will sing in peace and harmony. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. It's the light of unity, and we're gonna let it shine. It's the light of unity, and we're gonna let it shine. It's the light of unity, and we're gonna let it shine. Let it shine for unity. Let it shine for unity. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
That was a great version. I like that. We'll be singing it. It's one of those, it'd be great. Something worm. Mind worm, brain worm. Earworm. That's it. It's an earworm. Oh, and now we come to the time where we give thanks for all of the gifts that we do receive in a week, the time and the talents that people share to make unity happen, but also treasures so that we can pay the bills. We tried calling London Hydro one time and said, we got some volunteers. Could we do some work instead of cash for our bill? And they haven't responded. But we are so blessed with all that people give to Unity of London each and every day and week to just keep trucking, keep growing, keep learning and transforming. Bottom falls out again. I think everybody knows it anyway, so we'll bless our offerings. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And we have some announcements. So this Friday, we're having dinner and a dance. Who's coming to dance? Who's coming to have dinner? Yay! I do believe we still have some tickets available, space available. I don't think all the shopping has been done yet. So if you're kind of on the edge, you might as well come and have fun with us. The theme is for the 60s. It's about peace and love. So as the sign says, get your hippie on. Some tie-dyed stuff. I think we have some tie-dyed shirts that are perfect for Friday night in the fellowship room that I saw. So it'll be a great time. $35 per person. And it is a private event in the sense that we have not publicly advertised for people to come. So if you'd like to go to the distillery or the winery, if you would like to bring some adult beverages for yourself or to share whatever, you're welcome to do that. We can do that. And there's also going to be a silent auction. And so I know I've seen a number of things in the office and around. And Lorraine, are you up for auction, Lorraine? I don't know if any of us could afford you.
We are getting a number of things in. Thank you so much for those who brought them. What I do need, though, is for you to let me know the value of the item that you brought in, and so that we can put that on in a starting bid. So that information is still required for some of you who've brought in items but haven't spoken to me personally. So I have my computer and my list, and I'll be updating after the service.
Thanks, Lorraine. And of course, we wanted donations by October 27th, but we're still accepting more. We will carry on. So that's it's going to be a great time, and I'm sure there'll be some wonderful events that some of us will be trying to outbid each other for. Daily Word. The Daily Words are in. When I was earlier in this bookstore, there was only 2 copies left. So if you would like your November or December Daily Word, there's 2 left. So 2 of you could be satisfied today. The 3rd or 4th person might be disappointed, but you can always see it online, or call somebody and say, hey, what's the Daily Word today? And you can share that. Wednesday nights are always happening with Jim and his wonderful musical friends. This week it's the Backseat Girls. Yes. I said that already once. I won't do that again. And Sam Hornby. Hornby or Hornsby? Hornby, yeah. And as always, it's only $10, cash at the door, or e-transfer Jim Chapman at Rogers.com. And this is Celebration Sunday, so when we're finished the peace song, we expect a long lineup of people celebrating things in November. And now we'll say our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. The presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. And we'll move to our peace song. So as you go about your week, just let it all go and grow. Dun 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 dun. There it is. Oh, Jake, we appreciate we recorded you doing this. So anybody celebrating anything in the month of November, come on up and share. I will start with, I'm celebrating this month. I start my 10th year with Landmark Canada, and I think it might be my last, certainly full-time, that's for sure.